So we have finally checked in and we are just exploring the capital city now, and we're actually very close to the main city. I remember to read what it says. Basically parked our car at our Airbnb, and the entire city, or actually all the cities in Bosnia, were on mountains and cliffs. So anytime you had to go anywhere, you had to either climb up or you had to come back, climb down. So this was me coming down to the main city center, and around this city, basically this is the capital city, is called Sarajevo. And this was under siege between 92 to 95 when the war in Bosnia. This is the water fountain. Okay. So this is very interesting because this is actually a towel and a pillowcase that you just saw briefly. And it's just a story about a mother who was with her kids, and these soldiers came and they got her to leave her house, and she had nothing to sort of cover her kids with, and then the only thing that was sort of accessible to her right away was a towel and a pillowcase, and she just used that to cover her kids. So that's what this is about. He's a older brother, and he was Shia. He converted in 92 after the war had started, and because of sort of the influence of some of the Iranian, sort of Iranian influence that came into Bosnia at that time, he eventually converted to Shiaism, and essentially he's one of the earliest Shias that converted to Shiaism in Bosnia. He was in the war as well, and he was in the war, and his brother was killed and so on. So it had tons of stories. So now he's taking us up on this hill, and
within days he can pick a language. Like if he was being fluent Spanish in like 2 weeks.
he wrote the book.
The small round on top?
Oh, on the city of Sarajevo from the top. And these hills were occupied by the Serbs, and the Serbians were essentially creating that siege. So people inside the city, majority Muslims, they were unable to, leave the city and so on. And they were, a lot of people, and they were outnumbered, and the UN didn't interfere, and those UN soldiers sort of like ran away basically. So the entire village of civilians, 20,000 Muslims were sort of taking refuge over there, were now at the mercy of the Serbs, and then Serbs basically went on a killing spree, and it became known as one of the most, infamous genocide that took place in the last couple of decades, and in that. give a bit more explanation, especially more importantly about this book, because this book honestly is one of the best books uh, I have read. And he's European at the end of the day. He has a very different experience as a Muslim. He was arrested, and sent to jail by the communist sort of government at that time for writing about Islam. But the way he explains the problems of the West is honestly very unique, very different to the way, let's say, Hussein Nasser. And there's a lot of, as you can see, like maybe one of the clips you saw, like a lot of Palestinian flags and posters, and there's a lot of discussion about Palestine in Bosnia because they can all relate to what is happening in Gaza. So that was very nice for me to see. And the Shia community, inshallah, maybe if I get time, I'll talk about them as well. They're very small, and some of them are located in Mostar, and some of them are located outside of Sarajevo. I did visit them. I visited